So with that, I will just introduce the main speaker for today, Ken. So Ken is a real estate consultant from PropNex. I'll leave it for him to share with you his glory. Yeah. So basically, I partner with him, okay, and do some property courses, do some property related activities. All I want to say here is this: I think there's easily 20, 30,000 of agents out there. So, why do I partner Ken? The main reason here is this. Our vision is aligned. I'm definitely not here to get him to sell properties. No. Okay. So we believe that you should learn. Okay. So property is also an investment tool. You should learn how to analyze them. Also, we are really here for educational purposes. Definitely not to sell, but of course, eventually we want to engage him to buy property by all means. But for today, what is more important is you actually learn how to analyze properties, and especially if you actually want to buy properties for growth, what are the things to look out for? Okay, so with that, I shall not talk. Maybe I should talk. Okay, maybe I shall not talk anymore. Okay, and I will just hand over the stage to Ken. So Ken, let me just make sure you can share the screen first. Give me 1 minute. And yep.
Yeah, thanks for the
yours. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yeah, this is Ken here. If first time meeting, my name is Ken, Ken Chu. I'm a real estate agent for since 2011. So actually next year will be 11 years already. So comes flies. I'm still very passionate about what I do. So as like what Emin said, yeah, our visions are aligned. Property, we want to actually share with people. For me, I want to share with people how can I use property to integrate with financial planning. So today we're talking about unifying property decision as a subset of financial portfolio. Okay, so this is something that really aligned, and I really want to share what I know with all of you here. All right, so let me just start sharing screen here. Give me a minute. Then, of course, wait, if you can see the screen here. Okay. Everyone can see the screen. If not, just let me know. Great. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, Chong, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so today is our growth with property. We're talking about this. Yeah. And then, of course, I want to start off by asking a question with you all, like those of you who drive, or even you don't drive, right? Do you think checking blind spots is important? If you think it's important, you can put a 1 in the chat box. If you think it's not very important, you can put a 0. Yeah. HD say important, Chun Bun say important, Lung, Ginny, Chu, Chin Ang, Lei Hun, Victor, Regal, Andrew all say important. Yeah, I agree, right? It's very important to check blind spots, right? Because if not, it's going to be very dangerous. Yeah. Okay, so just leave this thought with you. As of now, I want to talk about disclaimer. Emin has put a very good disclaimer. Yeah, today we are really here not to sell properties or sell anything or what, but really it's on the educational. So do ask any questions that you want later. We have a Q&A section later. Yeah. So what I will cover in hopefully in the next half an hour or so will be these 3 main things. First, let's talk about a case study of a growth strategy. Okay, so growth strategy, there are so many growth strategy, and the key is to find a growth strategy that suits you. Okay, what suits you may not suit another person. But I always feel that a case study will help us be a bit more creative, help us to relate to our own experience, and help us to learn and see whether is this suitable for me or not. So a case study is always very good to learn. Okay. Second one, I'll talk about, in some properties, there is some growth, some drop. Of course, we cannot cover every transaction. I'm just going to pick up a few, then we can have a discussion. And then if you are facing any, like you have any friends or that you have any real life experiences, you can also share, and then we can bounce off You know, why? What happened? Okay. And then of course, the third is most important one. Are there opportunities? Okay, there are opportunities, but where do we find? Okay. And then of course, behind we will have the Q&A. All right. Okay, so the first one, case study. I also want to ask you all a question here. Do you think, is it still possible to get growth in property over a 3 to 5 year period? What do you all think? If you all think it's still possible, you can put a Y. If you think it's not possible, put an N. N for no, Y for yes. SH say yes, Irene say yes. Juven say yes, Emily say yes. Yeah, yeah, great. Lung say yes. So you see, very interesting. I think the market now is considered good lah. Okay, consider good in the way that people are confident. Okay, people are confident, and over these 11 years in my real estate, I actually see a few cycles. Okay, one complete cycle, I would say one big cycle and many few small cycles lah, I would say. So what I really understand over these years by experience, not by textbook or what, is that whenever the market is good, everybody will think that it will never come down. And then when the market is not good, everybody will think that it will never go up. It's very funny, man. But everybody knows that logically it's a cycle, right? It will go up, it will come down, it will come down, it will go up. Yeah. But this is something that we really want to understand as I would say, okay, maybe an investor or you're going to enter the market or somebody who are already in the market. This is a psychology that you really need to remember if you're going to understand about how the mass people think. Okay. So in short, the point here of this is that we really need to be cautious of what we do, especially Singapore property nowadays, due to the ABSD, ASSD, and so on, right? Our decision need to be very, very precise. We can't afford to just decide and then want to direct the next day. We have to be very sure that what we are doing. Okay. In short, proceed with caution. Okay, now let's go talk about this growth. I have this case study here. And this seller actually bought in 2018 a new launch, okay, at 955. Okay, and the down payment they did is about 200,000 over. Of course, it's 25% down payment. And then today he's looking to sell at 1.14. Now, this person is thinking of selling at 1.14, but the neighbors there are trying to aim at least 1.17, 1.18 above. And this person is thinking to sell at 1.14, okay, because someone offered. Okay, so this is a real case recently, and this one I also learned a lot from the seller. Okay, but I serve the buyer, but this is how the seller thinks help me to, very interesting, you know, the market. Now consumers are really, really very, very sophisticated. They really know what they want. Now, let me proceed. So the gross gain, right, they already gain about 185,000. Okay, what happened here is that if you look at it, right, this seller already have about 20% gain on asset. Okay, and because he only down pay about 25%, probably he has already about 70-80% return on investment. Okay, this is the return on the 25% that he paid. Okay, so if you divide it by it, it's quite a substantial percentage of return. Okay. Now, this is one. The seller already think, I already gained something already. Number two, okay, this is the strategy that they employ. Any new launch, they will have progressive payment. Okay. Progressive payment means like, you know, the first stage, they build the foundation, they pay a bit. Then when they build the concrete or brick wall, they build a bit, they pay a bit more. So you will see, right, on the column where I said monthly estimated payment, right, over there, it starts from 200, 600, 800, and so on. So it's very, very affordable. Probably their CPF can cover already. Okay. Now, it's going to be TOP. And after the TOP, they will collect key, which is on the stage 7 there. And you can see, right, from the monthly commitment, right, from 1,004, right, suddenly become 2,004. They have another 1,000 to actually pay. Okay. Of course, they can actually rent out. Okay. But these sellers say, actually, you know, they want to, since they already make, why not? Okay. Why not? because after that, their monthly commitment will be increased to 2,004, eventually to 3,000. Okay. Now, so this is the second pointer, the upcoming costs that this seller want to consider. Okay. Now, the third thing is that, is there a better entry? Because if this seller sell already, right, can he find another better choice, or as good lah? At least he can do it and repeat the success. So these are three things that this seller asks himself, and that makes him wants to sell the property. Okay. Now, what is he thinking? Okay, what makes this seller sell? First, he already entered a growth property previously. Okay, of course, but I believe when he buy that time at 2018, okay, I don't think it should be a good strategy say that, oh, 3-4 years later I must sell. Okay, because what if the market not in favor? But who knows, we got COVID and then market went so good, and he has this opportunity so he can have options. Okay, so definitely not a short-term strategy, but before he actually enter and buy this property, okay, he actually know that he's buying to a growth property. Okay, and today he actually seen growth, so he can actually have this option to sell or not. Second, he's very clear on his growth strategy, because the property already made and he want to repeat the success again. Okay, because if you ask it, should he sell or not, some of you will say, hey, actually my purpose is income. I want to have passive income. I want to have rental income. Then actually it's a good property. You can actually continue to hold and then rent it out to your tenants. Anyway, today rental market is very high, right? Of course, another thing, key reason why he sell is because he spotted another or better entry. Yeah. So this is a case study of this seller employing some growth strategy, and of course the market helps him to be able to get out in 4 years, right? Okay, so far, anybody need me to repeat anything? So far, is the speed okay?
Yeah, maybe I also just jump in here. Ken, hope you don't mind. Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's say, for example, my personal strategy. So previously I was staying in a smaller apartment, and I'm just sharing my strategy lah. Okay, so I actually shifted now to a bigger apartment, which I'll put it this way lah. Previously I was quite comfortable lah. And I actually switched to a bigger apartment, and part of the reason is because of growth strategy lah. Okay, so when a lot of people buy a property, the first thing that can come to my mind is that, wow, I got $1 million loan, I got 9,000 loan, So for me, to me is that I am the loan is not really my priority, because frankly I may not have the intention to stay here throughout the period. Okay, so if let's say, for example, for whatever reasons I have to downgrade, I just downgrade lah. So to me is that, okay, I just entered into a growth instrument, and if let's say everything goes well, okay, which luckily this period it did. If let's say, for example, if I just downgrade back to my smaller apartment, I would be able to have some cash lah. Okay, so okay, the main point I'm trying to say here is this, sometimes when you talk about growth strategy, is the focus lah. So if let's say I'll be so focused like, wow, now I'm staying in this apartment, then if I upgraded, I have such a huge loan. If my focus is on loan, focus much on the mortgage payment, then I probably will not make that decision. Okay, but for me it's okay, I actually want this for growth. I know that this bigger property probably can have more potential for growth, or either that percentage wise, okay, think about it. Let's say 3% increase on 500,000 property and 3% increase on a $2 million property. In absolute term, it's a lot different. Okay, so that was my consideration, and I have no qualms about downgrading back. And because my perspective is different, I dare to make the jump. So yeah, I just want to share my another case study to what we really mean by, hey, property as a growth strategy. Okay, sorry, Ken, I'll pass back to you. Yes.
No, it's very good. Yeah, it's another strategy also we are looking at, and I want to say that it's really about knowing what you want. and what is the right decision. And the right decision really depends on what you want, you know, because the right decision for Amy may not be the right decision for you, right? Okay, so let's go back to here. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one, which is, hey, some grow, some drop. Okay, let's look at some property here lah. Okay. Now, so this is a Martin Modern. Okay, so you can see they bought probably around 2017. Okay, and then they sold around 2022. So most of the owners there are enjoying a lot of profit. They are very happy. And Martin Modern is actually in the Prime District. We call it CCR. Okay, Central Core Region, or the Orchard property lah, Tanjong Pagar lah, or is called CCR. I'm going to put in a group chat. So for those people who okay, who may not hear this jargon a lot, okay, it's called CCR, Central Core Region, or the most expensive property should be there, okay, the Orchard lah, District 1911 lah, Tanjong Pagar lah, all these are considered CCR, okay. Then how about next one? Okay, wait. Okay, Park Esta. Okay, this is actually in Aljunied there, Paya Lebar Aljunied there. Okay, so this is what I call the RCR. Okay, rest. Okay, so it's called rest of core region. Okay, and then so same thing, you see, they actually bought around 2018 and then sold at 2022. So most of them are making. Then of course we talk about Whistler Grand. Okay, this is in the West Coast District 5 area, which is what we call the OCR. Okay, I'm going to put in the group chat also. So you can see that OCR is usually the outskirts, we call it suburban or what. And then Central Core Region is in the central. And then RCR is everything that is not in the central and not too far away from the town. It's called RCR. All right. So you can see that they actually, you know, have made, and what made them actually earn money. Okay. So I would say that this is probably the characteristic of a new launch. Okay, so I like to group property in terms of what the character are. Okay, not like are they private or HDB, or are they 3-room or 4-room kind of thing. I like to group them into, oh, what kind of property is this? This is what kind of characteristic they have. So new launch property, right? Of course, caveat first, not all new launch are, but usually new launch property has a characteristic of making a price jump. Why? Okay, the key here is why. Most of the buyer here are called the first owners. Okay, so first owners buy around the same price. Okay, when they want to sell, right, when one of them want to sell, right, they need to sell higher. Okay, and everybody will be in a way supporting the baseline already. So the seller will sell higher, okay, and then everybody will want to go higher. So that's the reason why there is a price jump. Okay, and of course the market is also helping, and that's why we've seen properties make profit in a short period of time. Okay, now how about this? Okay, so this is the unprofitable sales. Okay, of course, so there are about 75 people here. Wow, today the turnout very good. I don't want to, it's not my intention here to like disappoint anybody. I'm just putting here as a case study. Of course, I also have seen people who are in these properties and they also make money. Okay, so really just take it as, have an open mind, take it as educational and so on. So now this is Cardiff Residence. If you all know this area, right, it's actually in the Lorong Chuan area. Okay, so it's considered the okay, Lorong Chuan area. Which one you all think is OCR, RCR, or CCR? You can put in the group chat. Anyone? This property is out. Eric say, oh, Eric, Lei Hun, Chin on OCR. Yes, okay. Your score 100 marks is outside core region. So it's at the Lorong Chuan there. So what's the problem with this, right? One thing I realized is that there's a fundamental issue here because the property, all the property there are only 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. So this kind of property, right, they attract investor. Okay, and investor will always want to have a better price. In better price, that means lower price. So it's a bit hard for you to sell at a good profit. Okay, if you've seen those property projects that have 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, or even 5 bedrooms, they are able to attract family and own stay. And usually you will see that they have a better transaction, and sellers there are owners there are able to make easier. This is what I can say. Okay, without further ado, the next one is reflections. Okay, this one I will say that it's a different reason. Okay, of course they have very big. If you know about reflections, of course, let's say it can. Just now you say just now over here you say if the property have 3-room, 4-room are good. Then how come here also got 3-room, 4-room, but they also lose? Why? Okay, of course we must understand it's a different reason. I would say that because of the quantum. Okay, when we buy a property, we must understand that how many people in this area, the demographic, are willing to pay a certain price for this property. Okay, of course, I would say reflection is a good property. People will be willing to pay, but of course, the debate will be like, if I have this budget, could I look at other areas like the District 9, 10, 11, or this Marina area kind of thing, because it's also about the same area. Okay, and there are much more amenities around there. So this is really, we want to ask ourselves, not say that reflection don't have. It's more like, is there more or less? And what are the comparisons about? Okay, so this is for a different reason. And the last one for this is Urban Vista. Okay, if you all know where are they? Okay, when it launched, right, I already feel that this property, I'm not very confident to share with my investor friends to buy here already, because when they launched, the price already not the right price, and the area around there also not much growth. Okay, so the entry already predicts the result. Okay, this is what I can share with you. So definitely very important. Like I said, not all new launch will do well. Urban Vista last time was a new launch, but they're fundamentally not very strong. Okay. Now, of course, I want to say we can't be doing a study for all the properties in Singapore, but just want to give you some idea, that whenever they actually profit and whenever they actually don't profit, right, there's always a reason behind. Okay. And from the point you enter, you would already know, are you going in the right entry? Is it a good investment? Does it fit your purpose? And so on. So I don't think it's actually, I just want to give you an example. I don't think it's very relevant for us to look at, why this property earn, why this property don't earn. Really just to, prick your brain a bit. But I think more relevant for you all is not about, looking back and go through why and why not, but it's more like today, can you make a good decision for yourself? Okay, because that will predict the result later. You mean you want to add on anything?
Oh, yes. How you know? Okay, so I think just want to summarize a bit of what Ken has mentioned. So please don't think that buy property sure make money. Sometimes actually I'm very worried. Every time got new launch, then people just go and chiong and buy vegetables like that. Especially the recent one, I have been receiving a lot of photos saying that all the 1-bedder, 2-bedder, even haven't launched already fully booked. It's like, wow, somehow they have the impression that sure make money. So hopefully Ken has actually highlighted to you. So please don't have that assumption. There are properties that make, there are properties that don't make. Okay, so don't think like, like stocks like that, when the STI is up, whatever you buy also go up, that is definitely not the case for property. Okay, so that's one point we want to highlight. And again, Ken, don't mind, if you don't mind, can you just switch back to the Whistler Grand Runner? Yeah, so this one make, okay, this one, I have some first-hand experience. Okay, Ken, don't mind if you help me. So there were actually 3 plots, right? So Whistler Grand is actually the second plot, correct?
The first one is Twin View, Park Rivera, and then Twin View, and then this one is the third plot.
Okay, thank you so much. We were there when it was launched. I still remember that time, of course, pre-COVID, we even brought people down to actually go and see that property. We were very confident that the price will go up. Very, very confident. Why is that so? Because there are, you all can go and check, there are actually 3 plots of land that they actually just launched quite close to one another. So I think one launched a few months later, the second one launched, third one, Whistler Glen launched. I think Whistler Glen is the third one. And interestingly, Whistler Glen per square foot, the price is actually lower than the first 2. Okay, I remember very clearly. It's like, of course, we also don't want to be too confident, but we were like telling people, don't think so much. And true enough, of course, you can see that was in 2018, and true enough, we actually make money. So, a lot of times, again, I just want to echo what Ken had said. There are certain properties whereby we can actually say with more confidence, there's actually more evidence that there is a higher probability of capital gain. Okay, there are certain properties that may be a little bit more challenging. Okay, like, I keep talking about Lentor area. Sorry, hopefully no one, okay. You happen to stay there, nothing against it. But at that kind of Lentor, they actually have a new launch. At the kind of pricing, I can buy something at River Valley. Of course, not first hand. And Lentor and River Valley, I think there is some difference, right? Okay, I'm not saying Lentor won't grow, but in terms of evidence, which one has better capital gain, so on and so forth, there is a difference. So again, this is what we want you all to be careful of. Don't think that, wow, everybody go and fight, everybody go and queue, everybody just throw blank check at the agent, must be good, sure, make money. No, that is not happening. Okay, we must really understand, compare, especially if you're talking about growth strategy. Okay, Ken, back to you, please. Thanks.
Precisely. Like I said, just now earlier, before I start, when the market is good, everybody will think up. When the market is down, everybody think down. So it's really have to be cautious. I would say really have to be cautious. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, I want to ask, because of all this, some make, some don't make, is there actually a checklist to qualify property? Is there a checklist you can qualify? Hey, this property can buy, that property cannot buy. Yeah, okay. So hold on to that thought. Okay, well, I actually want to share with you about where are the opportunities now. Like just now, the seller, right, who actually sold his the property at 1.14, he actually seen opportunities now. That's why he wants to sell now. Okay, and where are the opportunities? Okay, there are several, and of course depends on your objective. But I will say that there are 2 opportunities that stands out and I want to share today. Okay, especially in this property market. And of course, how long the window will be, sometimes opportunity come, the window will close, and then we can find another opportunity. How long this opportunity, of course, I cannot predict, but I will say that it may not be that long. Okay, just to let you all know. Let me show you what are they. Okay. Now, first of all, let's talk about new launch. Just now, you may say, wow, new launch so high now. Can we still buy or not? Okay. But I also said, hey, new launch has this first timer effect. People buy at this price and then they all want to push up, So collectively, they all trying to protect a baseline, So because of this characteristic, new launch is I would say the word more straightforward to see growth. Okay, it may not be easier, but it's more straightforward. Okay, but at the same time, yes, the price today for new launch is pretty high. Okay, but for new launch, can we still see or not? Let me show you. Okay, what is the opportunity that open up? Are y'all interested to know where are the opportunities now? Okay, put a 1 if you're interested. I don't know if most of y'all are off your camera, so I want to know whether am I still with you all? Oh, great. Yeah, so looks like everybody is still with me. Eric, Carol, Andrea, Chin An, Ida, Yvonne. Oh, thank you so much. Jovina, what a nice name. Thanks. Okay, so first, let's look at this. Okay, if this is the average prices for non-landed homes. Okay, I use non-landed home because the data is more. If you're interested in like specific property like landed or commercial or what, that one probably have to do it privately lah. Okay, so this one most people will be relevant. Okay, and over here, this is from HPROP research, and we are able to just put a filter and say I only want to know new sales only. That means new sales from developer only. And so this is the chart that you see. Black color one is the OCR, and then blue color one is the RCR, and CCR is the orange color one. Now you all know why just now I put a lot of emphasis on what is their what do they mean. So hopefully everybody are familiar with these three terms now. Okay, and if you look at OCR and RCR, right, since like let's say 2018 or even 2017, the graph have been gradually going up. They have been growing, and if you can see, right, the growth, right, okay, I need to put aside, is about 70 to 75 growth rate, okay, for OCR and RCR. However, if you look at CCR, right, almost I would say flat, okay, we are not today, we are not higher than the previous high. Okay, something stored in CCR. Okay, in the past few years, CCR did not move much. And the average growth rate is 38%. Yeah. And you've asked me, okay, so will they continue to perform not as good or perform poorly, or because they have grown so little and now is the time for them to catch up? You know, it could go both ways. What is your take? Oh, now look at this. This is average prices, same thing, but I go in terms of the PSF and in terms of growth percentage. And you can see OCR in terms of growth, right, is the champion. Okay, OCR is supposed to be the cheapest, but the growth is the most, followed by RCR, and then you see CCR is really falling behind. So I want to understand why. To answer the question is whether are they going to continue to perform poorly, or because they did not perform as well, they are going to have they're going to catch up. Which one? First of all, I need to understand why and what happened. Okay, and the past 4 years is very much determined by HDB upgraders. Okay, I actually should put one more slide here, but I forgot. But the other slide is about the HDB upgraders for the past 4 years is a lot, and then coming 2023, right, the upgraders is reduced. Okay, so upgraders will go and buy property around OCR and RCR, and that's what makes the price go up. But next year, okay, there are lesser upgraders coming in. So will the demand continue? Okay, do you see a picture? Lesser upgraders also mean lesser demand for OCR and RCR. So have OCR and RCR has really maybe meet their peak? Okay, this is up to you to have a definition. But of course, I would say that the demand next year would not, I mean, in terms of research, the demand next year will not be as strong as the past 4 years. Okay, now of course you see CCR has been like that. Okay, and then we start to hear news like, you know, next year all the rich people are coming in, all the companies are setting base here, and government are actually opening up and actually getting expats to come in. And then they also raise the minimum wages for the, I think, E-Pass, S-Pass, and so on. So definitely people are coming in, and these people want CCR. These people will stay in CCR, and they have the budget. Oh, and that is where I feel that, hey, today probably, next year, where the demand will go. Will demand be more on the OCR, or will demand be more on the CCR? Okay. Now let's look at this. Okay, just remember this PSF. Like the CCR one is 2009 PSF, and then the RCR one is about 2005, and then the OCR is about 1009 PSF. So try to remember this. Okay, these three figures. Okay, and let me just carry on. Now this is the available one-beders That means this is a developer sale, and they are new launch. Maybe some of them already TOP, like 26 Newton already TOP, but it's still, you can still buy straight direct from developer. Okay, these are the one bedders in CCR. Okay, and you can see the PSF range. Okay, is about 1,009 all the way to about 3,000 like that. But let's look at, remember just now, we look at this average about 2,009. Okay, so you have a sense of it. Then two bedders, also same in CCR. Okay, new launches from developer, we have about 1,009 to like 2,007. Okay, of course, this list is not exhaustive. I just want to show you there are actually a lot of properties out there that probably below the average PSF. And then of course, three bedders, we have like what sorry, put the turquoise aside. We have like 1,009 and all the way to 2,008 like that. And all these are, I would say, is still below the average PSF of CCR. Okay, so this is one, I would say that new launches, we can look at CCR, but of course the quantum will be a bit higher also compared to the mass market one. And that depends on do you want to come up with this budget or not. So this is number one. But if you ask me, if you are aspiring property investor, okay, this is a very this is a good time to enter into a prime district property, okay, because of this this opportunity opening up. Okay, I don't want to carry on. It feels like I'm selling already. Okay, resale. What about resale? Okay, resale, we also have what is opportunity to this. Okay, anyone is staying here? Anyone staying near here? Woodleigh, Potong Pasir? Or people are familiar here? You can raise up your hand, or you can type type 3 in the group chat. Oops. Oh, no one's staying here. Oh, someone's staying here. Great, SH. Yeah, so you will know this area well. Now, over there, I want to compare just two properties now, okay? Just to get you have a picture. There is actually a huge PSF differential. Like Woodleigh, Woodleigh Mall, Woodleigh Residence, and Nin Residence. Okay, let's look at the prices. So Woodleigh, we are looking at what 2,005 PSF. And then Nin Residence, we're talking about, wow, 1,005 PSF, like almost about 900 to 1,000 PSF. So with such a huge PSF differential, right, you are probably getting a property cheaper. At the same time, you're probably also getting a bigger property, right? Like you see, Nin Residence, we have about 900, 800 square feet, and then compared to Woodleigh, probably about 600 to 700 square feet. Yeah. So which one suits you more? And if you ask me, this is the opportunity now, because the PSF differential is quite big, and it's not just this area. There are a few other areas in Singapore have this opportunity. Okay, so this is very straightforward. I will just carry on from here. Yeah. So is there? Sorry. Oh, SHC not staying there. Just familiar because of next. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, so back to this question, is there a checklist to qualify? Definitely, yes. It's always a checklist to qualify. And it can be very exhaustive. It could be a simple one, but somewhere in the middle will look something like that. Yes, there's a checklist. You can check how many units in the project. Okay, why is this important? Okay, Philip have a question, and maybe we can put this in the Q&A. Philip, you hold on to it, right? So I will not break Emin's flow today. We will have a Q&A later. Thank you so much. Thanks. Yeah. So number of units, like, okay, first of all, why number of units? If the project has lesser units, right, in the resale, it will have a handicap, because in the resale, valuation is very important. The bank must be able to substantiate the value in order for your buyer to loan to buy a property. So if the valuation cannot match, right, then most seller may want to bring down their price. Okay, so more transaction in the project will help the bank match the value. That's why units in the project helps a lot in terms of holding your property value. Of course, distance to MRT, Singaporeans or, people who stay in Singapore will know MRT is become like a norm like that. Of course, future growth. How do you substantiate future growth? I'm not going to go through all the lists, but you can see here that they are definitely have a checklist. We can make it very exhaustive, but I come to a point over this about close to 11 years in this industry, my day-to-day lessons and experience with clients is that the checklist can just keep adding and can be very, very exhaustive. And we can really do a very, very good checklist, but always something that's missing. Why do I put this here? Okay. I want to share one personal story. Some of you may be familiar with this. Anyone plays the guitar here, or plays any musical instrument here, or know what is this ABRSM about? Anyone? You can type a 0 in the group chat. Anyone? Like you're playing music, you play music, or your kids are playing music and going for this ABRSM. Anyone knows about this?
We are very money focused people, not music.
Oh, okay. Okay, we got one SH. JT also. They know about this. Probably they are also. Wow, actually quite a lot. You mean? They are focused people, but they also know how to enjoy. HD also. Well, great. So for me, last time I have this passion in guitar. Don't ask me to play now, all written already. But I really enjoyed learning and then clearing the grades. And I actually go for this grade 8 guitar. So grade 8 is actually pretty high, I would say the last grade already in ABRSM. So it's very difficult. I really spent a lot of time to try to pass. So I remember there was one piece, I cannot play means I cannot play there. The sound just don't come out right. And I know that if I don't get that right, I will fail my exam. And then when I go for the lessons from my guitar teacher, what he shared with me was advice that really helped me a lot. He shared with me this. He said, Ken, when I play the guitar, my finger, if you can see from the screen, my finger, was very stiff. So when I pluck the string, I pluck like that. I pluck very stiff one. So this is the string. If you can see, this is the string that I pluck, my finger is very stiff. So he said that what I need to do, yes, I need to pluck with strength. He said that I need to put the strength on my knuckle here. This is where the strength is. But the part here, this joint here, should be very loose. It should be like very loose. It should be like very, very loose. Well, so it's a bit technical. If you get it, okay. If you don't get it, it's okay. It's because it's very technical. But it's advice that something that if I go YouTube or I read book or I go through all my notes, I will never have this advice one. And my teacher just look at how I play, and based on what he knows and what he have know about me, okay. And he gave a very specific advice, and it helped me to pass my grade 8. And I just cannot forget about this. I'm really very happy of this experience. Yeah. So the point of this is that you can have the best checklist, you can have the best checklist, but there are always blind spots. And the blind spot is like me, the guitar, how I pluck the string. Okay, same about property also. Okay, and you really need someone who knows what they are doing. At the same time, you can also know that someone who knows what your objective and try to give you the best advice. And it's up to you to decide whether you want to go ahead or not. So the point here is really, even if you have the best checklist, have you checked your blind spots? Because different market has different things to take note. And with all the policies come out, how are we going to maneuver all this? We need to be very, very flexible. And my guitar teacher helped me with the flexibility. So yes, to tie in with how I started, yes, blind spots are very crucial in property. It's just like driving. If you don't check our blind spot, we will be very dangerous. Okay, so that is my last slide here, and we can go into Q&A, and then
can I jump here, Ken?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I just want to highlight one point that Ken mentioned just about checklist. I don't mind, can you just go back to a checklist? I think one thing very, 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 very important that a lot of people didn't do is compare PSF across district, within district, and future launches. Okay, so this is something that I really hope, especially you attended this, please go and do so. It's actually not difficult. I think you can get the agent to do it for you. If not, a lot of information are available publicly. I have seen, like, for example, okay, this was some time back, in District 4, Interlace. There's actually this project called Interlace. Okay, some few years back, like, it was actually PSF about 1,004 per square feet. And there's actually one project further down the road was selling about, I think, 2,000, 1,008, 1,009 per square feet, actually close to 2,000. So it's like, I'm not saying that the project is bad, the 2,000 is bad, but think about it. If let's say, for example, I just a 20% gain, if I buy Interlace at 1,004, 20% gain, I just need to sell at 1,007, 1,008, I get my 20% gain. Whereas if I buy that $2,000 project, if I want to sell at 2004, 20% gain, I need to sell at 2004, which means it's breaking new ground, going to a higher record. Whereas if I actually, for Interlace, to get 7,000, 7,008, it's a proven that people are willing to accept that kind of pricing. Things like this are things like this. So again, go back to my Lentor. Is it really bad? Is it really expensive? It may not be. Maybe you still make money, but there are places maybe somewhere else that have more clarity for capital gain. And you can actually find more this by doing the comparison of PSF within, across district, and future launches. So just want to add on to that point. Okay, Ken, yes, back to you, please. You want to answer that question? Or we are Q&A, right? Yeah, yes.
The question about 1 to 2 bedroom versus 3 bedroom versus 4 bedroom, CCR versus RCR versus OCR. Which combo will perform better? Wow. I mean, if you ask me, okay, so in terms of size first, right? There's a one very logical. It's a math thing now. Okay, let's say 4 bedroom, I got 2,000. Okay, I'll make it easy. Let's say I got 2,000 square feet house and I got a 1,000 square feet house. So maybe the 4 bedroom is 2,000 square feet and the 3 bedroom is 1,000 square feet. Okay, and then the market went up and they went up by 100,000. Oh, sorry, 100 PSF. So the 3 bedroom being a 1,000 square feet, they will earn 100,000. And then the 4 bedroom being a 2,000 square feet, right? Same, the market went up 100 PSF, but because it's 2,000 square feet, right? You earn 200,000 in quantum. So does size matter? Does size matter? And I will feel that if you ask me whether 1, 2, 3, or 4 bedroom, which one, I would say moving ahead, especially with COVID and when we work from home, size does matter. Okay, but of course the quantum is high and really depends on whether it makes sense or not. We need to check what is the price we are talking about. Okay, but if you ask me just point blank like that, I would say the bigger the better. Okay, this is one. Number 2 is CCR, RCR, OCR. Like my presentation, I don't know whether you all feel it, but I also start to feel it pricey because I'm like trying to sell CCR already. If you all can feel it, I feel that the opportunity is quite clear. Moving ahead, CCR opportunity is opening up, but definitely be cautious what you are buying. Do I answer your question, Philip? Is that what you mean by which combo?
So in short, CCR 4 bedroom, he can afford one. This guy a lot of money.
I mean, go ahead, man. Yeah.
This guy a lot of money, don't know what to do one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. SH. Oh, okay. Question are coming in. For resale, when you compare prices, important to check the tenure, how many years left in the state list? Yes, very important. Okay, for resale, the age is important. Okay. Would it be harder to have capital gains if we buy resales with lower PSF as the first owner would be able to sell? Yes, YX, you are very right. Okay, and I think this is not I think with the efforts of a lot of good property agents out there who also give a lot of good advice, this used to be a very what YX guys, just look at what YX are actually saying in the group chat. This is no longer a secret. I think a lot of people start to know this. Yes, resale may have a lower PSF. Okay. But we must understand that the first owners can also sell the property better, cheaper. So what they mean is that I buy at 1,000 PSF. Okay, and then now I sell at the first owner buy at 1,000 PSF, and as a resale buyer I buy at 1,008 PSF. Okay, now can the first owner say, market not good, I sell at 1,006 can already? They still make 600 square PSF, right? But as a resale here, you actually paper loss from 1,008 to 1,006 PSF. So this is what YX is saying. Yeah, so definitely, yes, this is one thing we need to take note also. Yeah, so you see, it's really not just one angle. Okay, should we buy new launch or resale? Or should we, because PSF is cheaper, we just go and buy resale? We need to look at various factors and come together. Okay. Philip, yeah, thanks, Ken. Welcome, you're most welcome. With rising interest rate, any concern? Wow, this one is economical question. You mean you want to?
Oh, so of course, yes, interest rate is going to go up. I think the latest fix is 4 already, right? I think the banks.
4.25, 4.4, 4.5 rate.
Yes, yeah. So please, again, all these are risk factor you have to factor in. Okay, you have to make sure that you have to cover. So again, that's why, before you buy properties, especially it's a big ticket item, all this risk mentioned, do cover them well. Please make sure you can actually pay the mortgage rate, and in the event that, let's say, go up further, you can actually stomach it. Okay, so that is definitely the concern. Okay, but personally, if you ask me personally, I think the increased interest rate is likely to stop now, or in fact maybe just another 6 months, if you ask me. Then eventually, if interest rate got to come back down again, okay, given that probably the US will go into recession, or either that globally it may actually go into recession, and when that happens, they have to lower the interest rate. So that's how the economy works. It always go in cycles. Economy go up too fast, then they increase interest rate. Then economy slow down too fast, they will reduce the interest rate. Yeah. But in any case, when you buy, can you make sure you can stomach? If let's say, if I were to buy today, right? If I were to buy today, I will do scenario analysis such that if let's say interest rate got to 6%, can I still stomach it? Okay, 6%. This is what I would do.
Yeah, definitely do some, agree with Amy, must do some buffer. Okay, but I just share with you how sophisticated today's consumers or customers are. Okay, they're actually very, very clever. I was very impressed. When the interest rate keep rising, honestly, you think I'm also a human. I mean, property is my rice bowl. Am I scared or not? Am I scared? Well, I know people's market not going to do well, then my business is not very good, kind of thing. I also have this feeling, So this one customer was telling me this. Okay, he asked me, hey, Ken, I was very concerned. I say, rising interest rate. I asked my customer, will it be a concern for you? Okay, because if it's a concern, I want to address them also. So they tell me, they address my concern. I tell you how they address my concern. They say, Ken, what do you think today interest rate, why they will rise? So I hope to ask you all. But anyway, I just say my story. So I tell you, I think probably it's inflation. Yeah, so they tell me this thing. Oh, if it's inflation, right, then shouldn't I hold a property? They were like, oh yeah. So they answer me this, it's the other way around, So today, customers really very sharp. Yeah, so this is one thing, very short and sweet, right? Now, Philip said don't sabo. Okay. And he also said, okay, if it's a second or third property, so will attract ABSD. Is it a good buy in CCL? So now it depends already. So now you see, this is a perfect scenario where Philip asked a question, and we really cannot just base on one angle and understand and then say what is he should do or he should not do. I need to ask more questions. For example, what nationality? Okay. Now today, why I say CCR we can actually consider to enter is because you must understand if I pull out the data, right, most Singaporean, right, in the OCR property, right, 80 to 90% are owned by Singaporeans. But in the CCR property, right, probably 40 to 60% is owned by foreigners. And foreigners, right, okay, they pay ABSD. So if I'm a Singaporean, right, okay, for example, okay, today ABSD foreigner is 30%. If I'm a Singaporean, simply put, if I can buy at 1 million property without ABSD, for example, okay, and then the foreigner buy at 30% ABSD, or 1 million property, right, to them is 1.3 million already. So as a Singaporean, I go in at 1 million. I know that somebody have to sell at 1.4 already. So is this a good, I mean, I would say, does someone settle your safety buffer already? Yeah, so this is the additional attractiveness that I see in today's market, especially in CCR. So if you ask me, you got ABSD. So let's say if you are a Singaporean, okay, if it's a second property, then for you is 17%. And knowing that there are foreigners buying at 30% and you are paying 70%, do you still think is worth it or not? Yeah, so this is to answer your question. But if you ask me to recover back, I will say that even if you rent, you will take a while to recover. And then this is where why I want to partner with Emin is because we really want to unify your financial decisions. Like with that ABSD, right, if put into other use, right, which of course Emin has his other options, will it be better or not? We have to do some maths. Yeah, this is very personal advisory already. Yeah. Hope I answered your question. And then Emin said, Emin, this question.
I can answer that. So percentage wise, how much do you allocate property to the total portfolio? I think you know me enough. It really depends on the objective. Very hard to set. But maybe I give my personal example. If let's say money is not an issue like you, yeah, I think Singapore probably maximum will be 2 properties. Okay, so 1 for own stay, 1 for investment, hopefully in the other part of Singapore, so that, you know, avoid ABSD. That's number 1. And if let's say still got more money like you, then probably will be overseas. So, and that will depend on you know, what the retirement plans are. Like for example, I got this friend have a property in Australia, have a property in Bangkok, and her plan is when she retired, 3 months Australia, 3 months Bangkok, 6 months Singapore. Yep, I thought that would be quite interesting. So if you actually want to go by numbers wise, yeah, it really depends. You know, there isn't a magic number for everyone, unfortunately. Okay, I think last questions. I think that's all the time we have. Last question by SH. Ken, you have any opinion on
very
that?
simple. So we usually just use, I mean, ballpark, we just say about 20%. Yeah, about 20%. Yeah, but moving forward, a big but, moving forward, we really need to see is this also start to change, because our land costs are also getting higher and higher. So I think the key thing is the land costs. Okay, and typically, traditionally, conventionally, we would usually say that the freehold property have about 20% premium to a 99-year-old. Hope I answered your question. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Ken, you have one last slide to show, right?
Oh, yeah, correct. So yeah, talking about blind spots, if you are looking at any thing recently and you need help to, you know, I hope also to help you to cover some blind spot, like how my guitar teacher helped me with my, you know, yeah. So the QR code is a Calendly. You can check on my calendar and then book me, or you can just call me or WhatsApp me or even email me. All right. I just want to give back to this group. At the same time, I also going also want to rest also lah. So I also don't think I can do too many. Probably around 5 like that. Yeah. Okay. So just let me know.
Yep. So thank you so much, Ken. So I actually asked Ken. I'm quite sure there are some people who are interested, especially like, let's say, for example, compare the PSF, and of course, things like really want to drill further in about the opportunities. And like what Ken said, a lot of times, there is no one size fit all, really need to know the objective. So I actually got Ken to give me 5 of his slots. He actually do one-to-one. He actually does one-to-one consulting sessions. And I'm actually very glad that he's actually willing to offer 5 slots on a complimentary basis. If that's more, I don't know whether he'll charge, but there's only 5 slots. I got him for free. It's Christmas period. I think he also wants to enjoy a bit. So for those who are actually interested, you can actually book the slots by one of the 3 ways as mentioned. Okay, this is free. So even if you're not buying, you just want to have a chat with him, okay, you can do so, not a problem, but it's limited to 5, first come, first serve, okay? So how to block slots, either go Calendly, drop him a message, or you can email him to book. So he has a very structured one-to-one program. So you all will like just sit there and just merry make and, be happy. No, so there is actually a very structured flow. He will go through with you. Then basically it starts from even looking at your finances, if you're willing to share, based on look at your budget. For your budget, where are the best opportunity based on your budget? Then of course the risk management part is actually a very detailed one-to-one consulting process. So unfortunately I only got 5 slots from him. If you're interested, you can actually book right now.